Hey guys, Kyle Morris here, coming from the golf room, and today we're at our outdoor location at the Golf Club of Dublin. And what I want to do today is talk to you guys about two things. First is how to utilize the bounce and chipping, and two is how a simple club decision and ball position can make all the difference in the world in regards to your up and down percentage. So first, if you were to take a 60-degree wedge and you were to put the ball back in your stance and you were to drag the handle through the shot, basically what you're doing at that moment in time is you're telling Roger Cleveland or Bob Vokey that they're not very smart and they don't know how to design a wedge. Now, why do I say that? Basically, if you put a ball back in your stance and drag the handle, what you're doing is you're eliminating the bounce of the club, and the bounce is like the forgiveness of the club, and we need is kind of as much forgiveness and grace as we can get. So utilizing this bounce becomes really, really important. So what I would recommend doing is when hitting chips, try to get it so that your setup is a little bit more neutral, where the club is in the middle of your stance and the shaft is maybe looking just to the left of your belt buckle. Try to feel like your body is very stacked upright. It doesn't have a lot of tilt. Secondly, you want to try to feel like your head is moving forward, and this is everything I'm saying, just as kind of preface this, everything is opposite than a full swing, because we're trying to hit it soft and kill power, not hit it hard. We're trying to kind of finesse it next to the hole. So you're going to set up neutral, you're going to have your body kind of stacked, you're going to feel like your head works towards the flag. From this angle, you're going to feel like you air. If you were, ideally you would go right back on plane, but if you didn't, you would air a little outside with the face open. A death certificate in chipping is inside and closed. And then when it goes through, you're going to feel like the club head is kind of passing your body rather than dragging the handle. Because if, for the viewers watching this in the South, if you're hitting in Bermuda grass and you drag that handle, that grass is going to, like my wife caddied for me when I was playing. My wife would call it, the grass would kind of toupee over, and that ball could go 6 inches, and that shot can be embarrassing sometimes. So just a simple club decision. So I'm going to first hit a 60-degree wedge. I'm going to put the ball back in my stance, and we're going to see what the TrackMan numbers are going to show us and how the shots are actually really similar, but yet one of them is going to give us a lot bigger bottom or longer bottom so that our contact can be better. So here's the 60-degree wedge. Ball's back in my stance. I'm going to drag the handle like so many amateurs do. Okay. Certainly, obviously, feasible. It's a lot easier in this ryegrass here at the Golf Club of Dublin than say in the South. Now I'm going to take a 52-degree wedge, and I'm going to put this in the middle of my stance and kind of feel like I'm going to keep this cup in my left wrist, really hit it with a soft leading edge, and see what the data on TrackMan tells us. Okay, so let's go check out the TrackMan numbers and see what they say.
This first screenshot of the TrackMan numbers is interesting. This is the 60-degree wedge that I hit where I drug the handle. What you can notice is that the attack angle is down 8 degrees. Therefore, it's really, really sharp. My dynamic loft has gone down to 36 degrees, and it was a 60-degree wedge. My club path is 5 degrees from the inside with a face angle that's closed to that club path, therefore sharpening the leading edge even more. The spin rate is pretty low at 1500, and the spin loft is at 45, well below the loft of the club. So now if you look at this 52-degree wedge that I hit, there's some massive differences between that and the 60-degree. You can see that my attack angle is down at 3 degrees, which therefore shows that my bottom is much more shallow. You can see that my dynamic loft is higher at 44 degrees compared to the 37 or so that it was with the 60-degree. My swing direction, which is what the club is doing from hip to hip, is working out to in with kind of an open face to that path, so therefore it's allowing for even more bounce. You can see that the spin rate is relatively the same, but the spin loft is much closer to that of the loft of the club, which is something that I like because it just shows that you're actually utilizing the loft of the club that you're using. Here's Seve Ballesteros. Notice how the club goes outside his knuckles going back and then exits left and soft.